Fellas, in today's video I'll be covering Scarlet Witch in this simplified Marvel Rivals guide. Scarlet Witch is a duelist, a DPS, and is one of the most underrated looked down upon heroes you can choose from. She does have a 1-star difficulty, but does have some weaknesses that need to be watched out for. However, with a simple toolkit, no reloads and minimal cooldowns, getting great with Wanda should not take long to do. She has great mobility, damages more based on the target's max health like Wolverine, and has an ultimate that hits for 750 damage. In general, Wanda is not hard to learn or to use, letting you be decent with them very fast. But they do have an impressive toolkit that means you'll have to get good game sense to get the most out of her. She is very offensive, allowing for ranged attacks, as well as making her a great fit for any team composition that they may be on. In this video, her combos, playstyle, and more will be covered, so whether you're new to Scarlet Witch or need a seasonal refresher, this video will be for you. Her offensive toolkit consists of her basic attack that looks similar to Cloak's, and a fast shot secondary that hits and then does an area of effect for even more damage. Her ultimate is the Real Shining Star, dealing 750 damage in a spear. Her ultimate is the Real Shining Star, dealing 750 damage in a sphere. This ultimate will eliminate every character at full health, but 3 of them. Her defensive support toolkit consists of a projection that's invincible and moves fast, allowing for flight. Plus, it can be used twice in a row. A spell shot that will stun the other team in intervals, and a passive that allows for slow falling. Scarlet Witch does also have a team up with Magneto, giving him a powerful sword attack, but also gives a 10% damage boost as well for them. Overall, it's a very simple toolkit that she has, but with a bit of game sense, Scarlet Witch can act as a powerhouse. Now, let's dive deeper into her abilities and how to use her. Starting off, Scarlet Witch does have 4 charges that you can see beneath the crosshair there. This is going to be used primarily only for her second attack, and they do take about 5 seconds to actually regenerate, but using the basic attack will make that go faster. Starting with her basic attack, that is Chaos Control. This has infinite ammo and can hit up to about 18 to 19 meters. At the 20 meter range, it doesn't quite hit. This will deal 6 damage per second, as well as 0.3% of the target's max health, meaning it's going to be more effective on tanks. This also will hit 10 times a second at a range of about 3 or so meters, meaning you don't have to be super accurate with your aiming. This is a bit of an odd one, and if you do want to hit the targets behind, you do have to be a little bit more lax with your aiming. Otherwise, it will hit whoever is closest to your crosshair. And as noted, this does help with recharging your charges, so it will be something they use very often. Up next is the Chthonian Burst with your right click. This fires a projectile in a straight line with a speed of about 120 meters a second. What is nice about it is that it hits for 35 damage, and then there's a splash damage of 35 as well, making it great for clusters and more than one enemy. It does hold 4 charges, and it does have a decent recharge time, meaning you should use this often for poke damage, range damage, openers, closers, or even just on clusters. It's one of her best attacks, and you should be using it as much as you can. And then chaining in your basic attack just to make sure your charges stay full. Now, what do you do if enemies are moving too fast or you're having trouble landing that burst shot? That is where Dark Seal comes into play. With the E button, this will shoot an orb that creates a spell field upon impact, stunning an enemy within inside that range every 1.25 seconds, and the range is about 3 meters. It does have a cooldown of 12 seconds, meaning you can't use it too often, but it is great for clusters and on objectives. And then if you are aiming it just at targets, you can shoot it and then press E again, or whatever button it is to activate it, to make it explode in the air, allowing for the detonation then. Now, I don't find it lasts too long. I think it stuns about twice upon use. There's 1, there's 2. Maybe it happens upon activation as well. It's not the best attack out there, but everything does help. And this also works well with getting your ultimate off. Now, a highlight ability for her is going to be Mystic Projection. This, when you press the shift button, will turn you into a projection that you have 2 charges of and lasts 2 seconds with 8 seconds per charge. When you are in that state, you are invincible and you get immunity to effects, also with the 50% speed boost that will allow for flight where you can go up or down. This is going to be best used for positioning, getting away, or surprise attacks, or honestly just in general for mobility. And learning when and how to use this will be the difference between a good and great Scarlet Witch. And then next up we have her Telekinesis, where you hold your jump button to fall slowly. I don't really find too much use for it. But if you are in your free state, you can press shift or you can press space on the way down, and that will allow for slower fall. Again, not something super useful, but it can help with positioning and attacking from above for a short period. Now the most important thing, her ultimate, Reality Erasure. Once activated, this will hit for 750 damage in a sphere of 15 meters, absolutely erasing most of the heroes that you'll face. The biggest con for it that you'll see is that it does have a 4-second delay upon use, where your mobility actually slows down by 35% at the 3.5 second mark. You do technically get free flight, which is okay, but it's a big con for a big reward. And you don't get any bonus health, you don't get any invincibility during this, so you can be killed out of it, and killed out of it pretty easily. So don't just pop that in the middle of the fight, as you will be killed as your Scarlet Witch with lower health. The best thing that I can recommend when using the ultimate is to pop it in safety, and then as you start to build it up, move out of cover for when you're about to explode to get the kill. That'll be the best way to stay safe. Same thing with throwing down the Dark Seal, just to get some stuns in on the enemies. Scarlet Witch does have a team up with Magneto where he gets a bonus move. Very good move to use if you do have that available. So she does get a 10% damage boost just for having a Magneto on the team. How effective that's going to be is entirely situational. For her basic attack, 10% of 6 damage is not going to be a lot. But for something like her ultimate, that is going to be an extra 75 damage, which will get a kill on any hero in the game, barring any buffs that they have. So that is the gist of her abilities. Let's hop into some matches to see her in action. The playstyle of Wanda is more focused on sustained damage, and with her ultimate, it can change the course of a match. While she is good at mid-range, behind the tanks, or honestly even in the front line, the best spot she will be able to play at is going to be up in the air or a higher positioning. This allows for taking out enemies who are out of position. Landing final shots or getting kills may not be the constant for Scarlet Witch, but she will be able to do constant damage. Getting used to the timing of the Dark Seal will probably be the biggest tip to take away from this. When used right, chaining it with your secondary burst and basic attack will allow you to get through most foes, and those that do live will leave them very close to death. The Dark Seal is also great to use before her ultimate. The charge up is sadly long, but with the stunning ability, this should allow you some grace to get it off, chaining it with Groot's or Doctor Strange's ultimate, similar to one of your healers, letting you stay alive while your charge builds. There is a good chunk of weakness that Wanda does face, however. Her Mystic Projection prevents healing, so you can follow along her path to get that easy kill. And while she does have sustained damage, enemies who can heal or have shields won't have much of a problem with her. Overall, they are a fun pick who will take good game sense to really get the most out of her, always be dealing damage, and use her stun ability to help get in some easy kills, and you'll have a good time. There's nothing too complicated with Scarlet Witch. There's not really any combos that I can recommend either, besides just chaining your basic attack and second attack, using your Mystic Projection to either get into better positioning or to make an escape, and use the Dark Seal whenever you do have it, just to get some annoyance in with the other team. And then of course, be extra careful with her ultimate, as it does take about 4 seconds to charge, and you can be killed very fast, especially with that slowdown. And that's a wrap on the Scarlet Witch Marvel Rivals Guide. Tell me, did I miss anything, or do you have any tips of your own that you think other people should know? Leave it in the comments below. And hey, hit that like button if you're still watching, subscribe for more videos like this if you haven't already, and stay tuned for the next one.